So, No Jumper's been turning into a shit show recently. No Jumper is absolute fucking chaos. If it's not the, Julius Caesaring of Flacco, where all of these different people in No Jumper have all turned against him and stabbed him to death, figuratively, of course. Apparently, Adam22 had a conversation with a transgender woman who outed his friend Housephone for having relations with her. Adam receives this information in a literal interview. He's interviewing the lady, interviewing her. She's telling him what went on between her and Housephone, one of his employees or co-founders of No Jumper or whatever. He's on No Jumper. He's on the No Jumper roster. And Adam does the interview, takes this information that's in the interview. He does not delete it. He does not go into the interview and say, you know what, let's clip this out. Let's remove that. We don't want this coming out. This is the sexual relations of our employee. This is somebody who works here. We can't have that coming out. We don't do that. This is business. We can't have that happen. Instead, Adam decides to just put it out. Let's look at it. Akademiks had to respond to it. So let's see what Ak had to say about that shit. It's Big Ak.
To let some random come on your platform and violate. I always say there's no content worth the credibility of the people, especially who helped build the shit. Man, ain't nobody about to watch this. Ain't nobody watching this motherfucker talk but for this part. They should have been in the trash. Fuck, because I hear it was an edit thing. Fuck that. This whole interview should have been in the trash. This is what.
Facts. Like this interview, just the fact, and Adam acknowledges the fact that this shouldn't come out in the interview. So the fact that this was not clipped and properly edited to make sure that the sexual relations of an employee at No Jumper, to make sure that was protected. The fact that Adam did not feel the need to do that. And this isn't just some employee that just, records shit or sweeps up the floor. This is someone who's actually on the roster. The No Jumper roster. Who's getting done like this. So this is absolutely unacceptable. Ak is right already.
Well, I got in Flacco, nigga. Don't edit out the shit that he said about me. Nigga, you shouldn't even been sitting with him. There's no reason for you to sit with an irrelevant motherfucker like that. But I'm looking at this and I'm like, what the how does the boss of a nigga interview a transsexual who is exposing his employee?
Seems like I'm worried about people calling me a bad friend for just not editing this and putting it out.
Adam, you should have put this out, bro. I swear you should put this out, bro.
Here's the thing, though. It's more than just being a bad friend. And it's very striking that that's the only thing Adam is concerned about. The only thing Adam seems to be concerned about in the slightest here is the perception of himself. How will the viewers see him? He's not concerned about the morality of even putting it out in the first place. Let's just say that in a vacuum. Let's just say there's no people watching, no fans, no nothing. No one's going to see the video. On principle, even if not one pair of eyes will ever lay themselves on this video, you still shouldn't put it out because it's the sexual history of your employee. It shouldn't be on the internet, even if it's No Jumper content. Delete it. Delete the clip or delete the entire video. Destroy it. Do not let anybody get a copy. Don't let the lady get a copy. Don't let any of that happen. Don't let that happen. What's so hard about that? I'm struggling to understand. I genuinely just don't get it. And, for him to be so concerned about being perceived as a bad friend, not even thinking about the principle of it. That's striking to me. That's very bothering. And he doesn't even mention the business part. Like, even if you don't really care, even if you are like, who cares if I'm a bad friend? Still, from a business perspective, as a boss, the sexual history of your employee should never ever touch the surface. It should never reach the light of day. It should especially not released by you, of all people. If someone else in the company does it, at least you could say, hey, look, you're taking the fall because it was you. Instead, Adam is the one at fault. Adam is the one responsible. No one can take the blame but him.
Adam, you should have your security toss this motherfucker out of the building, bro. Yo, don't come here talking about my employee, my nigga. Stop it. No, that's my employee. You call him your friend. It's crazy. I'm thinking just employee. This nigga called him his friend. Bro, it's no way this nigga could be your friend and this is happening. Yo, Fred? No fucking way. Nigga, I would have had security. Yo, toss this motherfucker out like Sean Rock. We'll get to that. Toss him out!
This nigga took one sip of Henny and immediately started screaming, bro. It's Big Act. It's Big Act, dog. I'll fuck with Act.
Fucking at it. Wait, the only story is that you fuck my employee? All right, get out of here, nigga. Get the fuck on out of here, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? You're trying to get lit on my platform off exposing my employee that helped build my platform? And this is why, again, I can't tell Adam what to do. I ain't gonna lie. And don't think this is me trying to impose on no Adam. You can do whatever you want. Adam's platform is different than mine. You see, Big Act platform, I built by my damn self with my own sweat, tears, and blood. Adam's platform is something that's built by a multitude of people. It's built by a couple Hispanic dudes. It's built by a bunch of black dudes. It's built by him as well. But it's built by some of the, like, the poor, like, it's built by everything, but you gotta have respect for them, bro. You can't have niggas just slamming your employees who helped build the pyramids.
You're gonna be mad at me, but I'm just...
He's just gonna be... how about this?
If you say that, you should put it up. I ain't gonna hold you. He gonna be mad at me. What do you owe this motherfucker that you don't owe your own employee?
If you're mad at him, I think I'm mad at you because you're being a bad friend to me.
Nigga, I would have threw this person out like jazz. Get the fuck out of my studio, nigga.
Yo, I gotta agree with Ack. It's like what? Right? What does Adam owe this individual that he doesn't owe his coworker, employee, whatever? What do you owe her over this guy that you work with that I would assume has been more of an asset to you than her? I struggle to understand where Adam is coming from. Like, Adam's clearly lost in the sauce. Like, there has to be a point where you gotta step away from the feeling of invincibility that being a social media star gives you and come back down to earth and realize, like, oh shit, regardless of whether I perceive this to be a really important issue or not, or regardless of whether I think this should stay hidden or not, it is extremely unprofessional of me as this guy's boss to put out his sexual history onto the internet. Even if it was done in an interview, done by No Jumper, and he's on No Jumper, and whatever, and his content, it doesn't matter. Still, there should be some level of integrity here, and yet, Adam seems to be completely bereft of integrity, so, shit.
Talking about you're being a bat. Bruh, Adam, the reason why, I'm telling you, if I look at No Jumper, nigga, there was times No Jumper could have been done. That nigga Housephone was fighting battles. I remember when I was roasting Adam, nigga. Nigga, I had Adam I had Adam like a rotisserie chicken. Nigga. I've seen his blood. You know who's trying to jump in between? Housephone. I had to get him up one out of the way too. But the mere fact that nigga he's willing to dive on the sword, gotta respect it. It's called loyalty.
He's right.
It's called loyalty.
Ack is right.
Y'all remember that? I was at my apartment, nigga. I'm going, nigga, all I saw was blood. And I remember Housephone try to mitigate. Nah, hold on. All right, hold on. I got him for you. He trying to take the fade for you. You can't let some random come violate your homie. You can't do it.
Damn, I ain't gonna lie. Ack is obviously telling the truth because Ack usually doesn't lie. So the fact that Ack tried to violate and more than likely successfully violated Adam on his stream, the fact that Ack violated Adam and Housephone stepped in and defended Adam, and this is the treatment that Housephone gets, that's crazy to me. The fact that Housephone would put himself in the line of fire, like, hey, look, like, what's going on? Like, you can't come at my mans like that. You can't come at No Jumper like that. What's up? And Ack gave him the smoke too. And then for Adam to turn around and just throw Housephone into the fire, like, content. That's crazy to me. Ack's got a point here. He's got a very good point.
Can't do it. What are we talking about? For random?
Acting weird and shady, acting like you didn't do some shit that you did do, and you know you did.
I've been friends with him for like, and I just don't want to be like
the truth
out.
is the truth.
Well,
no one is cares.
But should I tell him? Should I give him a little warning? This is coming.
See, this is fucked up. If you gotta say that, you should have been like, yo, I'm gonna keep it real with you. We're either chopping this whole part out or this is not coming out.
It feels kind of weird to
Yeah,
not
maybe
tell him.
it's your friend. Yeah,
I
be like, she
if-
totally spilled your beans.
If you want to, I have.
But you better tell. You also should. You better let him know. I've pulled up fucking security and I don't play.
Yeah.
Security.
I have it. I have some fun. I have some.
And let me just pause it in the midst. I don't know the race of this motherfucker right here, but I know they're all not black that's talking about this. You see, in reality, when it comes to people who in white culture, if there is such a thing, you can't expose a white guy for fucking a tranny or some shit. Like, it's like, okay, what do you do? Well, the word expose is to say, if I tell the truth or I tell the information, it will cause maybe irreparable harm to you. That is way more significant in black culture. And let me be honest with you. No Jumper operates and hovers around black culture. You got to be very careful with this shit. When you're talking about black dudes, sensitive shit to the black community, if y'all want to expose white dudes all day, go ahead. Nobody give a fuck. Yeah, I start talking about black dudes now, man. I'm going to be honest with you. There's going to be a little sensitivity with this shit. And by the way, I know somebody will be like, yo, Ak, are you defending? Bro, nigga, I don't got no fucking horse in a race. I ain't know this nigga was fucking with.
I actually got a point, though. He's right, though. Like, there's a different level of scrutiny involved in the black community. And if No Jumper is going to be involved in black culture, they got to be aware of that. Like, you can't just throw some shit out like, oh, yeah, so-and-so, he's dealing with or a transgender, excuse me. You can't just say that, bro. Like, you can't say that about a black male employee that you have that is not openly, like, telling people that that's what he's doing. Because that's going to cause irreparable damage to his image. Even if it was a white employee. Just the fact that it is the sexual relations of an employee, something that should never be public unless the employee chooses to make it so. But it is true that there is definitely a cultural pressure on Housephone's back because he is a black man. Like, if he was white, people were probably like, okay, like, odd, but next. But yeah, in the black community, we're not as accepting of this shit. The black community is not as accepting of, you know, dealing with transgenders. If you're a heterosexual man and you deal with a transgender woman, people are not going to accept that. People are going to be on your ass. They're going to clown you. They're going to violate you. It's going to be a problem. It's not just going to be some shit that you just hop over or sidestep and just leave in the past. Like, it will trail you. So, Ak has a point about that. He's right.
You know what I mean? I didn't know this nigga was doing that. My only thing is, if we gonna hear the exposal, which, by the way, like, another thing to the trans community, let me just say this to y'all, is like, this actually sets y'all back when y'all are thinking you're exposing someone. Because now what that does is it gains people, it heightens the hate and vitriol and prejudice against your community. The only way you could ever overcome people being bigots and hatred and all this prejudice is being able to talk to one another. You can't get over racism if black people go that way and white people go that way. We got to talk to each other. We got to find ways and words and acceptable ways and means to communicate, to be able to understand each other and to try to integrate. That's the only way we could solve something as nasty as racism. But when it comes to, like, even transphobia, if y'all are on the, oh, I'm exposing this guy, you know what it creates? It creates us versus them again.
Ak is right about that, though. It does create a stigma. And it sort of reinforces transphobia. Not sort of, it definitely does. Because what you're basically saying is, him messing with me, a transgender, is so filthy and nasty and disgusting that me telling the world about our sexual interaction will mar and destroy his image forever. And you're basically like reaffirming that it's a bad thing for a heterosexual man to have sex with a transgender woman. You're reaffirming transphobia. Forget the whole us versus them thing. you're reaffirming the idea that there's some sort of like cooties you catch, or like it's nasty or gross, or it's to be with a transgender woman, or whatever the case might be. You're not speaking positivity onto the transgender community. If anything, you're speaking negativity. You're speaking more prejudice and more mistrust and more just dislike and more disgust. Like, that's not what we're trying to do. Like, we're obviously trying to move to a more egalitarian society where we accept people's walks of life that don't involve harming others. It's going to be hard. It's going to be very difficult to do that if this is the way, like, if this is the way that if this is what a transgender person is going to do on a trans woman's going to do a no jumper. It's not helping the image of the trans community. It's not helping the perception of heterosexual male, transgender female relationships. It's just hurting the entire thing. So Axe got a very good point about that. Axe has a lot of good points. I think I've said that like 20 times so far, but it's true though. Axe be spitting.
So why are you on No Jumpers podcast? If you're on No Jumpers podcast, it hovers around black culture and hip hop. Black culture and hip hop don't fuck with y'all. Generally. So why go there? If you're not trying to get inclusion, if you're not trying to have that conversation, and if you're going there to try to, I'm exposing, you're just trying to cause war. Why do it? Again, I know some of y'all might be like, yo, Act, why you defend this thing? That's not the situation. I'm just seeing, first of all, I'm disgusted that it's happening at home base. I ain't gonna lie. Hell no. Home base? Oh, hell no. Put it like this. And I'm going to move on to homie's response. Put it like this. This is all you need to know. This is all you need to know. If this motherfucker came to me, and I know y'all be like, Act don't like no jumper, which that's not true, but okay. If this motherfucker came to me saying, yo, let me expose this nigga on your platform, I would have said no. I would have said no. And that nigga ain't did a fucking thing for me. Let that sink in, and let me move on to his response, okay? Couple of my, let me see. He said you could go here. Somebody said me like that.
I have some fun. I have something to say.
Oh, I'm gonna ambush. But guys, it's been.
Oh my god, it's not about him. This is about me.
I have a feeling that this will soon be about him.
Oh,
I'm going to be hearing a lot about this.
And people, this is slut
tell him to
shamers.
fucking take it up with me. I don't give a fuck.
I would like to say the same, but it seems like I'm worried about people calling me a bad friend for just not editing this and putting it out. They're going to be mad at me, but I'm just...
He's just going to be... well, how about this? If you're mad at him, I think I'm mad at you because you're being a bad friend to me by acting weird and shady, acting like you didn't do some shit that you did do, and you know you did.
I've been friends with him for like... And I just don't want to be like...
All right, man. Anyway, homie responded, and this was his response. I haven't even seen it yet. My chat sent it to me. DMs. You know I see everything. Let's get it.
Listen, man. Let me get comfortable. First of all, the mic.
So that nigga right there, his name is Lil Housephone, okay?
I drop. Oh, wait, my mic?
Yeah.
My mic is like that. It's like leaning. All right, man. Let me go ahead and just speak on this, man. First of all, it's 2023, man. Money Stack Piggy Bank available next week. Cool. Can you not do that? Yeah. Thanks.
That's like another, like, yo, that's one of the things that I really don't like about No Jumper is how unorganized and just like unprofessional it is. Like, they just throw any fucking body in front of the camera and it creates an oversaturation of content. And it gets to the point, I don't know who the fuck this guy is. I don't know. I didn't even know who Housephone was until like this whole like situation happened. I don't know shit about any of this. You got Housephone trying to tell his goddamn story and he's being interrupted, of course, by me as well, because, you know, I just press pause. But the nigga sitting across from him is just interrupting, just saying bullshit. Like, No Jumper has turned into some other shit that's just like unbelievably unprofessional. Bullshit, chaos. Like, it's just fucking ridiculous at this point, honestly.
My nigga, it's 2023, bro. No matter what motherfuckers decide to do with their lives, which is nothing wrong with, by the way, I feel like my nigga being like outed or exposed or whatever the fuck by like my home team, by people that I work with that I see every week, bro. I'm really like, that shit's been bothering me, bro. I'm really not gonna lie to you. And Yeah, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I'm not gonna sit here and say, but I'm also not gonna sit here and like claim like everything. But just know, I ain't never touched a dick. I ain't never sucked no dick. I ain't never got fucked in the ass. And I'll leave it there. All right? Just know niggas got a little experimental at one point in life.
Hold on, chat. Yo, my man who always be cut me them sound effects. You know, we gotta get our soundboard game going on really nice. You know what sound I need you to cut?
Look, all in all, bro, like, this is... Housephone's correct. It's 2023. People can do whatever the fuck it is they want to do, as long as it does not interfere in the happiness and freedom of others. It's foul as fuck that some shit like this would even happen. And this is just a I'm not saying this is the downfall of No Jumper. I don't believe in wishing the downfall of anything on anyone. I don't believe in wishing downfalls on people. But I just don't fucking like... I just really have a strong dislike for just the chaos that's going on in No Jumper. Like, the way they're doing Flacco, where, like, everybody, like, is just, like, kicking him in and, like, killing him off. What happened with Housephone, like, it just reeks of, like, just absolute fucking chaos. Not reeks of chaos. It is chaos. Ultimately, bro, this shit has got to fucking stop. This shit has got to stop. Adam, I don't know what the fuck is going on through I don't know what's going on in Adam's head, but he's got to fucking... He's definitely got to figure out what he's doing and make a change, because this is just absolute chaos. It's unacceptable from a platform this popular, from a platform this well established, for this type of shit to be going on, to be feeding off of the to take the personal lives of your employees and to sometimes pit them off against one another and use their internal conflicts as content, to use their personal lives as content. That's not a good business model. It reeks of laziness. It reeks of a lack of foresight, a lack of creativity. Why not shrink the team, be extremely selective with who you want in front of the camera, grab AD, grab Sharp, maybe grab Flacco, keep the roster tight, keep the roster small, and simply talk about what's going on in the world. And just like that, you've got proper content. But to cannibalize yourself for this short burst of good content, it's just irrational. It's illogical, and it's absolute chaos. But that's the direction that No Jumper is going in. It's fucked up, but it is what it is. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.